Driving, proud to be supported by Bidding Classics, the online classic car marketplace with more cars added every week. Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the furious fleet and for yours with 10% off using code FD10. And Lancaster Insurance cover the furious fleet. They are one of the biggest specialist insurers in the UK, covering all areas of vintage to modern classic cars and motorbikes. Follow the links in the description below. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and today I bring you some slightly surprising Fiat Idea news, because this is an interesting car, an interesting addition to the fleet, which I wasn't particularly planning, but this whole flipping along, trading up series has brought a few surprises already, starting with the Mondeo to the Beetle to the Idea, and the Idea has to go, unfortunately, because that's the point of the whole series. But the thing with this car, it's quite a strange one. It's an extremely useful car to have around. It's very frugal, it's very small, it's incredibly capacious. It's currently filthy because yesterday, I'm not quite sure where she parked it, but Mrs. Furious, her Mini Cooper was going in for an MOT, and she took it to work instead, and apparently parked it in a field, although she says she can't see any dirt on it. So I'm not quite sure what she's looking at there. But anyway, it does give me a bit of a interesting conundrum. What do we do with this car? Do we flip it straight on again because it's worth a solid £1,500? The idea was to move up in value each time, but obviously the rust in the Beetle meant we went from a £400 Mondeo to fixing the value of that up to about £1,500 by repairing it, swapping into the Beetle, which is worth about £1,500, and we were going to sell the Beetle for a profit after we'd polished and improved it. However, the rust meant it put the value back down to approximately £1,500, which is why we now have the approximately £1,500 Fiat Idea. So this one, there isn't really a lot of scope to polish money back into it. If it wasn't tipping with rain and a bit on the chilly side, we could try and re-lacquer this bit of bumper, but to be honest, you don't really notice it that much most of the time. As soon as it gets a little bit dirty, you can't see it. And the other thing is, of course, the little scuff down the side, which we'll see more once it's been cleaned. And the question becomes, does one of us want to keep it instead of our slightly newer cars? I've got my 2017 C-Class Estate, which I use for work. The thing is, this Fiat is a great car to be in. It's huge fun to drive around in, and I'm no fan of the automatic gearbox in the Mercedes. I absolutely hate that. But the Fiat is not a relaxing thing to do a long journey in, and I do quite a few long journeys in the Mercedes, so that is where it earns its keep. So it doesn't really work as a substitute for that. Mrs. F, she's got a fairly recent Mini Cooper Clubman, so that's quite quick. It feels very solid in comparison to this. And she took it to work yesterday. She didn't mind it, but she said she preferred the Mini enough that she didn't want to do a swap for it. So that means the Fiat is going to find a new home, and I think possibly I've got that solved, but we'll come back to that in a few days' time, because in the meantime, the surprising news is this thing is going to be at the NEC Resto show on Thursday, or from Thursday setup. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can actually come and see this thing on the Fiat UK Club at the NEC. And I am the most surprised out of anyone about this, quite frankly, because I was not planning on having a stand at the NEC this year. Me and Ian Hubnut didn't get that sorted out. We decided that we were going to take a year off, or a spring off, and just go along as punters and enjoy the show as a show for a change after the last couple of years. And well, then I bought this, and a conversation I wasn't part of on the Fiat Club it said that it would be really quite handy to fit in with the theme they've got going on the club stand, and someone said, would I mind bringing it down? So I'd better get washing. In fact, I started washing it last night when it wasn't raining, and I'll cut away back to this little moment of bistling, and then back to here again. Now, the interior of this thing is where I'm going to start. It's not in bad shape at all, so it shouldn't take too long to dust and wipe over the entire cabin, but the floor mats have been, well, doing their job basically, and I want to get this cleaned up, vissled over and dried before we leave. So first up is the floor mat, which after, well, pretty much an entire tank of cleaning juice and about half an hour of effort has come up really quite well actually. Looks pretty decent. Let's go and get into the car and tackle this seat and that bit of carpet down there. Don't want to go too heavy on it because I want this thing to be dry by Thursday when I drive it to Birmingham. It's actually not that dirty. I just want it to not look like any kind of dustiness or griminess in there. And tomorrow when I give it a full-on interior clean, this will look absolutely delicious. This is quite good because this fabric is not particularly absorbent, so the water is almost sitting on it, as I imagine the dirt has for the last, what, 15 or 16 years. And the problem is these pedal box area is quite tight, so the rest of the car will be fine with just a regular vacuum in the morning. Well, we're back, so now this is actually the least it's been raining all day. Yesterday when wife took it to work, it was a really nice sunny day. Now we need to actually get out, and I was going to machine polish it. It's basically rained for the last 7 hours. So we'll give it a wash, we'll give it a clean up on the inside, and hopefully it'll be presentable enough to vanish to Birmingham. So we've got all the usual suspects at work here: ceramic blast, ceramic shampoo, wheel cleaner. I'm not using ruby red today for a change, I'm using wheel cleaner. Then on the inside we've got trim enhancer and interior cleaner. I saw some a minute ago. Ultra glass for the windows, ceramic glaze if the rain holds off long enough to apply that and replenish for all the black rubber and windows. So this thing should look absolutely smashing for the NEC. However, it's going to get dirty on the way up, so we're going to have express wash and wax for when we get there. So yes, the car will look spiffy. Let's get to work. Do you know, I do think snow foaming is one of the most satisfying things a human being can do to a car. Nothing quite as much fun as this. I don't think anyone's going to be looking under the bonnet, but a bit of engine bright will certainly, turn on spray, will certainly improve the under bonnet ambience. Keep us away from the electronics, of course. Make it look a bit prettier. You can agitate it, or you can just leave it for a minute and then squirt it off or hose pipe it off gently. Okay, I had been planning to machine polish in one cut the entire car to give it a really deep shine. It does actually have a really nice gloss to it, even as it stands, but the time and the weather are clearly not on my side. So what I'm going to do is quickly do a few little scratches like here, and then ceramic glaze the entire car, which is like a ceramic coating light. It gives you about 3 or 4 months worth of protection from the elements and like an instant shine. It's so quick and so effective. But first of all, let's try and get rid of those little scratches. Okay, so let's have a look what we got. Well, that's good. Well, we've had fairly light scratching. That is now gone completely where the scratches were a little bit deeper. You can still see something, but this major, more visible area is completely gone, which is nice. I'm just replenishing all the black parts, so the plastics, the rubbers, getting everything looking nice and good. This is something I want to show you before and after of. The other side was worse, and I didn't stop to take a photo or a picture of it. This is the black plastic moulding. To replenish, we'll transform this. I'll show you this in a moment. There you go. That is quite the transformation. The green algae stuff that's been growing on it has gone. The plastic has been nicely brought back to a shiny black again. Oh, there you go. The outside of the car is now lovely and shiny. I've replenished all of the black work on it, so that's got a great look to it. The paint's got a nice deep shine thanks to the ultra glaze. And when I get up to the NEC, I'll give it a once over with some wash and wax, quick wax, what's it called? You know what I mean. Express wash and wax. We all know what I'm talking about. Just need to hoover it, wipe over the dashboard, and this thing is NEC ready. Awesome. So this interior does now look absolutely fantastic. The interior enhancement stuff has given a lovely sheen to the dashboard, not too glossy and shiny. I don't like that at all, but this is just nice. The seats look fantastic, the carpets look presentable. I'm kind of wishing I'd done the bristling on all the mats now, because the driver's seat side one, which looked really bad before, now looks really good, and it's now showing up the passenger side, which looked okay in comparison previously. Car looks really nice. It'd be quite interesting, I think, to sort of display it with the seats, showing that they can do rear seat different things when it's up on display. So that's all kind of good. Because I don't think people have seen these things in such a long time. It'd be quite an interesting thing for people to sort of have a look around at and so, what was this thing we've never seen before? Okay, so the Idea is now as clean as I think it's ever going to be in the rest of its life. Probably as clean as it's been in quite a long time as well. It does look absolutely fantastic now. It's going to look amazing up on the stand at the NEC and smell deliciously banana-y after interior detailing stuff as well. Anyways, this is a bit of an unexpected turn because this time last week I didn't know I was going to be going to the NEC. I knew I was going to be coming up on the Friday just as a walk-around visitor to go and look at the show and do a bit of video on it. But now I'm actually going to be there tomorrow, setting up on the Fiat Club stand, and then Friday as a visitor, and then Sunday coming back to get this thing. I was kind of hoping someone in the Fiat Club might actually just want to buy it, and then I wouldn't have to go back again for a return trip. But I will be back there on Sunday because apparently I've got to go and collect it. Oh well. If you want to come and see this car, it will be on the Fiat Club stand in a hall. I'm not sure which one. They did send me some paperwork. I should probably print it. And I will be wandering around the show as well all Friday and some of Sunday. So if you see me, come and say hello. Anyway, as to the future of this car, well, as part of my flip series, it was always going to be a fairly short-term thing. But as it turns out, due to a chance meeting with someone I knew had a car for sale a while ago and I'd kind of forgotten about, and yada yada yada, I'll explain it all when it happens. It looks like I'll only be owning this car for about 2 weeks. Because things are just moving too quickly. I will save that for next week because hopefully, I won't say any more just now in case it falls over at the weekend, but the plan is for another swap, and yeah, it's a different car again entirely, but it's great. It's a really, really good car for what it is. It's not good enough though on the motorway for me to use instead of the Mercedes. Mrs. Furious prefers her Mini, and in terms of being a fun retro, it's not quite retro enough and not quite fun enough to use in place of things like the 200 VI. Because there's always the option with this flip series that if I really, really like a car, I could flip on something else from the fleet instead and make the flip work that way. But it's one in, one out, and keep moving things through. So we'll get through like a dozen cars this year with a bit of luck. This has been a slightly unplanned and unexpected video because I wasn't going to do a detailing video on this car, because that's the other thing with this thing as far as flipping goes. There's not really a lot to do to this car. There's a couple of very small bits of trim. I couldn't find a new gear knob in the UK because it's not a common enough car to find one for. I could have a crack at the lacquer on the front, but there's a 50-50 chance of me making it look worse, and I don't want to do that. And so basically it's just move it on as is. Unless it suddenly appreciates in value dramatically in the next 4 days, I'm going to get back basically what I put into it. So, it's breaking even, so it's not a bad thing. And also, I've experienced an Idea again, because I haven't driven one of these things or seen one of these things in a really long time. So it was great to actually own the thing very briefly and drive it again and be reminded of that holiday in Italy all those years ago. Anyway, if you've not hit like and subscribe, do that, because the next videos are going to be all kinds of manner of things going on, fixing cars, repairing cars, while getting stuck and having my spirit broken by cars that won't be fixed. All kinds of fun stuff is going to be occurring very soon indeed. So like, subscribe, head over to furiousdriving.co.uk where you can find hats, t-shirts, keyring, stickers, magnets, all kinds of stuff, and Amazon affiliate link in the description below where all the tools I use are on there as well. And don't forget to click the sponsor links as well, because that makes them very happy. That's all the housekeeping taken care of right now. See you again next time, probably at the NEC show, in fact, looking at the timeline of what's going on right now. Otherwise, I might see you in person at the NEC. And so I'll say goodbye until then. Take care and goodbye.